Troubles and peace. I wonder if we'll have both, or maybe one or the other. Let's talk about that. Yeah. Weird Al Yankovic, not a sponsor.
Oh, that'd be cool if he was.
It would be cool. He's one of my heroes of music industry. And I went to go see him, and it's the only concert that I sat down at. It was weird, really weird. Anyway, peace and trouble. Can you have both at the same time?
Yes.
Really? How, Katie?
Jesus.
Okay. Well, that is true.
I know.
So, it's interesting that Jesus came at the right time, because Rome was persecuting all kinds of people at that time, pressuring them. The Jews were under pressure with Rome, and Rome was kind of conquering the world.
You want to see a good picture of that? Go watch The Chosen. We watched it this week.
Yes. The Chosen just choked me up. Every episode was a tearjerker. But anyway.
But it brings the Bible to life. It's pretty cool.
It brings everything to life. So, you got me off track there.
Oh no, you lost your train.
That's right. So Rome was a huge deal. And then when Jesus was teaching this, you have to have that backdrop in the back of your mind that the Romans were not a pretty sight. They were not very kind. And so, the people at that time were trying to find a king physically to sit on the throne. And Jesus was not going to sit on the physical throne. He was going to have a kingdom that is beyond the throne. It's going to be a spiritual kingdom. And so their minds are going back and forth because they're not used to this. They're always used to something physical, sacrificing, doing things. And then he says this in John chapter 16, verse 33. I have told you these things. So he was teaching the disciples that all these things would happen. And he says, so that in me you may have peace. So in Jesus we have peace. So he's the Prince of Peace. Spiritually, we have peace in Jesus. Now we think of if he's the Prince of Peace, there's still war going on. Yeah, physical war. But when we're with Jesus, we have internal peace that is much more tangible or much more personable. And then he says this, in this world you will have trouble. That should be a no-brainer. Yeah. But at that time, think of that. Rome was troubling the Jews. They were troubling everybody. They were conquering everybody. They had rules and many gods. And trying to say that there's only one God, that was a huge deal. And so we shouldn't be surprised when there's trouble in the world. I mean, Christians will have trouble. We're not immune to it. Once you become a Christian doesn't mean you check mark the box that, I'm all good. We will have trouble, and actually more trouble coming up soon. But we have an internal peace, so when that trouble is external, it doesn't bother us. We go with it. And then he says this, and I love this because he could have just said that, and it would have been good. But then he takes it one step further. But take heart, I have overcome the world. So if Jesus overcome the world in his human flesh, and he was 100% God and 100% human, then we have the ability with the Holy Spirit, with his power, to overcome the world. Through what? Through the peace that we have inside. And so when we have that peace that passes all understanding, that is where we can form our foundation with God, our truth, our worldview, because that peace just envelops us, even through all the external trouble that we have. So my challenge for you today is, how do you keep the peace inside? And try to stay close to Jesus. I love you. Jesus loves you too. You have a great Wednesday. Bye-bye.
That was short, I think. Was it short?